Reciprocity out there, to knock out NRG, who had the most appearances at Grand Finals out of all Emergence days, and then to knock out Reciprocity, who was second in there for also second place in overall titles, it would just be a special thing to see. And I know LATAM scene is definitely going to be supporting them, but regardless, we're off to the races, Ryan. Let's get it going. Rushies already starting off strong in mid on the Cardia.
Okay, so I'm starting off with a big knife to the face. Currently a 4v3 advantage in favor of Reciprocity. Fears are going to fall to Fran as well. We are on long spawns, right? So especially on a map like District, I was just talking about it. If you can get those numbers early, so many times you can quickly kind of just advance forward, march right into the opposite home hill. Seeing a bit of that right now. Crack's kind of pinned between two members of Reciprocity over at B. Trying to get one on his way out. Isn't able to do it. But Estral have survived, right? They haven't given up the full trip cap. So Reciprocity, while winning that initial, currently going to hold a 2 cap as Powers get taken out in the middle. And Estral has a kind of decision to make now. Do they make that push over towards B? Do they just kind of advance right forward for that home hill? So you're seeing a little bit of pressure over at B. Rushies just continuing to run away, save his life. Both Fiercely and Adverse surrounding him. Finally take him down. They're going to elect to go for that neutral hill. So low, 5v4 numbers still favoring Reciprocity.
But you have the question for how long, right? I mean, at this point in time, Estral, very controlled pushes, and they're turning up when they need to. And Adverse holding his own against Kenny and another player as he goes for that push. Unfortunately, though, Crack will, in fact, drop. And Fiercely will take out Kenny, and he'll also take out Icy. And that solidifies Bravo for them to potentially, you know, take a chunk out of that deficit that occurred at least off that initial. But quickly, Reciprocity is going to be answering back. Player number 6 has rotated over towards Alpha. Charlie locked in by Franchise. And now, Estral, they've got to rotate down, right, to maintain their own home hill. But Rushies, he's not going to have any of it. He's going to go ahead and take out Cardia himself. It's just a bloodbath at this point in time. But at the end, Estral, they'll go ahead and recover, and they'll continue to chunk away at that deficit.
Yes, Reciprocity still holds on to a lead, but they can see by this push over to the OE. Not one they want to let Estral climb back into. Sorry, at least getting a break's going to preserve that about 30-point lead they currently hold. Other side of the map, Kenny gets that down onto Adverse. Powers cleans that up. 5v4 advantage now favoring Reciprocity and Crack. Looking beside his teammate Cardia, waiting for this push. They know it's there. You're going to see Icy and Fran right in front of the hill. I do believe Kenny is fairly close to them as well. Crack kind of baits out the utility there. So you reckon a little jumpy.
Cardi's got to be careful here. He's already at 1 of 4, Ryan. So if this fight doesn't go in their favor, it's going to be tough. Well, it seems as if they're running through. Franchise goes down. We'll go ahead and finish off Icy. That's actually going to be 3 down. As Powers and Rushies now on the back pedal. Fight for mid is going to be taking place. Powers is going to get chunked by Crack. And it's going to be 1 player left on the map for Reciprocity. Talk about turning things around. Estral, despite Reciprocity breaking 200, Estral's in the driver's seat, and they're going to win within 20 seconds.
Yeah, things are looking good right now. Estral, I see they have the win condition. They're continuing to slay out, and you're going to see Powers and Icy both electing not to spawn back in, pretty much admitting defeat on this round. As we move forward, you're going to see Kenny kind of just getting that push. At least get one going, a little confidence push. Let's get that kill. It is going to be Estral who strike first.
Long round, nearly 4 minutes. And you can really tell by looking at the overall respawns at just how much was committed in taking that victory.
It's a lot of elims across the board for one round,
A ton of elims. And like I said, it shows in the overall respawn economy. Estral, though, with a solid win, taking over that first round. It's got to feel good for them, right? They need to win this in order to force a Game 3 on the training grounds to keep their historic run here in Emergence Day Season 2 Week 9 alive. As those weapon trees will, in fact, just continue to be built up over time, still early on. And this fight for mid, once again, is going to take place. It's going to be an exciting one to watch. I'm curious to see who's going to be able to win it and who's going to take it over. Let's get it started, Ryan.
And there's a player to watch in an initial. It always seems to be Powers, the man on your screen right now. And they're getting aggressive. He realizes there's no players up there matching him. Estral kind of putting their favor towards the neutral hill. So what does Reciprocity do? They say, okay, we're going to run right over to C, right? We're going to have the advantage over here. Adverse is going to be blocking the hill. He's going to have Cardi in the back line. Reciprocity do have, has an advantage. Obviously, Estral does hop on B, and they are building a lead slowly. You see Reciprocity going to make that quick decision. Noticing that if they go over to B, they're going to likely be met by a number of Lancers. You see your picture-in-picture. Crack on the other end. Pushing alongside towards the Reciprocity home hill as well, so both teams making a number of rotations. When the dust settles, it actually looks like it is Reciprocity. Grabbing
so far,
a hold
right?
and getting that 2-cap at least for now.
Uh-oh, watch out though. It looks as if Estral is starting to slay out though. Fiercely on a franchise into Kinney. Powers to answer back onto Adverse. As C is in fact going to be 1 overall. As they are in fact going to gang up onto player number 2. That's going to be Cardia, who is trying to put him on skates. And actually in the end though, he manages to stay alive as some good Lancer fire will in fact come through. Cardia will join Reflame, but no need as he takes out Powers. And what looked like Reciprocity having that lead, it looks as if Estral is going to answer right back. They've got the point lead and they've got control of Bravo and Charlie. A good answer back.
And again, they continue to maintain this lead. The push is coming through franchise alongside his teammate Rush. He's kind of getting tagged up on the entry. There are a couple flashbangs in there to try to find a way to kind of just get in there, get one of these kills. But Estral, they continue to kind of hold strong. Big push underway. Reflame falls. Cardi gets out as well. Powers instantly sees him, but Crack is on his way around that corner. Players on both ends pushing. Cardi hits a shot, but Fran, his shot hits harder. 3 dead right now for Estral.
Oh, this is looking bad. Reciprocity is applying that pressure and not a moment to waste. As they're going to collapse down onto Charlie, they know they need to get the break. First battle is going to happen. Reflame needs to hold his own here. If he's able to do it, got to be big, but he's not able to, as Cardia now is going to be next up in line for Estral. Good team fire comes through. Now Crack, he's going to be back. Good stun comes through to back up Rushy's. Powers, though, is going to be up close, and he manages to collapse down on him. And that pressure once again now over towards Charlie. But you do notice Estral is able to make that break, and they're going to be on Alpha. They're going to manage to stay alive. But at the end, is it going to be enough? You see 2 players from Reciprocity. They're going to be collapsing down. Cardi is going to be on his last life. There's a lot going on. Kenny's going to respawn on his last life as well. And it's going to be Alpha and Charlie that are going to be locked in for Reciprocity as they're going to retake control, but it's not enough. Estral still wins on time.
They need to get this break onto B. Obviously holding those 2 hills would be great. At the same time, you see them just running in. Reflame jumps over cover. Kenny's there waiting. Even if they don't secure a trip cap, that's okay. All they need to do is get that lead back, and they're slaying out. In the meantime, Reciprocity was down almost the entirety of the round. They played the objectives. They got the kills at the most crucial point of that round, tying this back up at 1-1.
That was a close one.
I'll say that was stressful. That was ups and downs, pushes, holds, everything in between.
A lot of players on their last lives as well.
And we still have 2 rounds to go in this half.
It's been 2 bloody long rounds.
And that's what we knew. That's the matchup, right? We knew this matchup would produce, and said players just continuously throwing body after body out there.
They're really committing a lot of resources to winning these rounds, and obviously it makes sense. And when the rounds go for 3-4 minutes, you have to commit so much. That last round was so exciting of just constant counters and OEs. And that's what you love to see. Players to watch out for, though. Onto the side of Estral is going to be Cardia and Crack, who are now on lives of 1 of 4. Those are going to be your guys who love to get dirty, especially on those initials. And players on Reciprocity to watch out for is going to be Kenny, right? Kenny is going to be on 1 of 4 himself. So Reciprocity on paper, they've got the respawn economy in their favor, but that could turn around so very quickly if Estral has a good initial. Off the start, though, the neutral hill is going to be locked in. And look at that pressure, Ryan. Reciprocity backing up. There's going to be 3 strong onto Charlie.
Moving over to get that revive onto Fran. It does pull off. Fran is down once again. Obviously on his last down, he ends up getting taken out, but the trades coming through 4v4 on the map. 2v2 on this hill is currently favoring Estral. Kraken fiercely getting shot from all angles. Powers is hit by a brick, but Reciprocity come away with the kills. Seeing Icy and Powers just bounce around everywhere fiercely, nowhere he can go. On the other end, looking to help their teammate Rush, he's ended up falling over at the home hill. But I don't think they got the kill. the hill. It's being capped. No, they do. Advancing the break on B as well. A little bit of a Mr. Krabs there for a second, right? As you're getting the kills, you're slaying out, and all of a sudden the hills start dinging.
And that's when you start freaking out, right? Really start making your rotations. Franchise and Powers doing everything they can to hold their own, but as the stun comes through, Adverse looking to push through, but it's not going to happen. Powers from that angle could, in fact, get pretty sneaky out. That pushes Adverse back. Not a lot he could do in that situation as finally they're able to secure at least Bravo for the time being. Can they get that full cap? That will be huge, and they are, in fact, going to be able to do so at the cost of Icy getting dropped, but you will see Estral start to collapse down once again. Couple players, or at least 3 players currently on their last lives. It's going to be Kenny, Cardia, and Crack. So those players definitely to watch out for. This round still early, Ryan. A lot to be done.
Yeah, you see Powers kind of getting caught out in the open. Get a kind of quick look at the respawn economy. Kenny is currently down. If he gets taken out, that's going to put him on 0 lives. Again, we're still so early on. On the other end, you're going to see Crack and Cardia at 0 themselves, but it does look like Kenny gets revived. It's a big play for Reciprocity. Still plenty of round left to go. Estral with the only hill in play. Rush runs forward. He knew he was going to hit in the back.
He'll be on his last life, too.
It's going to put him also on to 0. Estral still continues to hold this 2 cap.
Holding the 2 cap and also slaying out when it matters, right? I mean, they're holding their own because remember, going into this round, Cardi and Crack were very low on overall respawns, and they still remain up. Despite constantly getting into fights themselves, they're holding their own.
It looks like Rushies and Fran are going to both choose not to spawn back in. So they're going to basically concede the round. Make sure they save those resources. Of course, we have 1 more round in this half. So kind of concede this round and give up the 1-2 lead, and then use those resources to try and tie it back up for the half. You're going to see Powers getting the kill on the A, but I don't think anyone is over towards B. The player goes over there, did fall. So Estral once again do take that lead. Reciprocity looking to tie it up, right? They saved those lives for that exact reason, and a long-winded round, man. 3 minutes, 26 seconds.
Oh, they've all been over 3 minutes.
Just absolute bloodbath on the map.
Look at the eliminations in 3 rounds. There has been a ton of slaying out. This next round is going to be a big one. And I think specifically for Estral, because Reciprocity maintaining those lives was pretty big. And I think they're going to have a little bit of an advantage overall over Estral in terms of respawn economy. So that's something to kind of look out for. So maybe holding back, not committing those final lives in those final seconds of that last round may have been the right play and the right call. But a big round for Estral to go into the second half with a 3-1 lead. This is a big round for them to win, or a big overall game for them to win, because they need to force the training grounds to stay alive. That fight for mid once again going to take place. We have to watch Powers, right? We constantly highlight him. He does so incredibly well off the break.
Reciprocity actually upgraded to a shot grenade. It's one of the kind of lethal pieces of utility. Will be in the hands of Reciprocity. Let's see how they kind of choose to use it. Brandon Powers getting aggressive up onto Cardia. Brandon's going to be taken out early as the first blood. Powers moves forward towards Cardia. Once again, Cardia continuing to hold strong. Powers finally gets the better of that engagement. 4v3 advantage favoring Reciprocity. Slight time advantage in the Cog's favor. Crack and Rushy is fighting on this piece of cover. Either player able to connect. Of course, we're on the quickest spawns of the half. And there's Reciprocity. Holding strong so far, the double home hill as Estral moves their resources over towards C. You're going to see Reciprocity try to take advantage over towards B. Reclaim. A bit of a tough spot, but he hits a beautiful shot on to Kenny. Rush is going to fall as well, so at least Estral will come away with that 2 cap.
And it's going to be a permanent 5v4. Cardia is already out, so this is looking great for Reciprocity. Now, granted, though, they could be in some trouble themselves with Kenny on their last life. So Kenny has to be careful on these engagements, as Franchise will absolutely get destroyed. Crack runs right through him. Still Reciprocity with map presence, and they are absolutely on every single hill. Finally, a little break will occur as Estral will be able to lock down Charlie. Crack will go ahead and go for that OE, a really aggressive push onto Kenny. Now, mind you, Kenny is on his last life, so if Kenny decides to get aggressive here, he goes down. the fight's going to be evened up at a constant 4v4. So as the stuns get thrown, that stalemates him through. But Rushies actually goes for an aggressive push, forced to back up. The Lancer Fire will take him out. And this is going to be a big push from Estral. Let's see if it pays off.
And Adverse is the player they down. If they can manage to secure that kill, which they did, that's going to change their 5v4 to a 5v3 advantage. And again, Reciprocity sold a decent-sized lead. They can absolutely afford to play the rest of this round very, very slowly. Of course,
I don't
Kenny
know about this one.
In a tough position with 0 respawns, but if he kind of sits back on the back line like that, there's no problem at all. You're going to see him basically just use those distance weapons over and over, playing that last life beautifully. Reciprocity, they held strong. We talked about not using those respawns in the last round, keeping disciplined, and it absolutely pays off, tying this back up. Just blow after blow. We're heading into the second half at a tie game.
It's been a nail biter, man. I gotta say, oh, maybe placing something over in cinema. Could we?
So we've seen this a number of times. Reciprocity loves this fight.
Yes, they do.
When the drop is in cinema, it's always Rushies I look forward to. I was just happened to be talking to Fran
good
about
at
it this
getting in
weekend.
there,
Yeah, or the weekend we were talking about it, just how he's so good at navigating that piece of cover. Just always manages to jump in, jump out at the right time, get that first shot. Let's see how he does against a team like Estral. Again, a number of very, very fast and aggressive slayers themselves.
So you got to think about the shot grenades too, right? That could be the biggest factor if used appropriately. There it is, Rushies, right? Man, we just talked about going in for that quick pick. Is he going to be able to get it? Shot grenade will, in fact, secure it. He already goes for a shot, and he connects onto Cardia and Reflame.
That's going to be 4 dead. Obviously, he's going to need that kill once the shock moves away, and this is long spawn, so Adverse. It's going to be the last remaining member. He actually ends up falling a full wipe. What a way for Reciprocity to kick off the first round of the second half.
31 seconds.
We talked about it right when that weapon got placed. We said, who's the player we're watching out for? It is the Rushman. Instantly gets in there. Good utility thrown, and then the drop shot well executed.
The shock made all the difference. That shot gave him the confidence to get the quick pick. It dropped 2 players down. The drop shot solidified him, and then that was really all she wrote. Fantastic start for Reciprocity in the second half to now lead 3-2. And a couple more starts like that could, in fact, give Reciprocity the win that they've been waiting on. They've been waiting so long to be back in Grand Finals and to finally achieve another victory. And this could be their week.
And a Boltok on the map in the hands of both Adverse and Powers. 2 players are very, very good with the weapon. Obviously placed it for a reason. Look at Rushies once again. How quickly he gets in, gets the quick pick, gets out. He just inherently always manages to be in the right place at the right time, get the weapon. As he's going to hit a brick onto Cardia. His teammates are there for the team fire. 4 members potentially down right now for Estral. Fiercely gets revived. The Reciprocity continue to put their foot on the gas. See the spacing right now with Reciprocity. They're just kind of pinning him back into that area, but Kenny jumps up and fiercely makes him pay. That drop shot's going to come in and clear out 2 members. And Rush is also there for the revive. Can he make it a third? He does.
And Reflame now is backing up as well as he's going to get dropped, and that's going to be 4 down. Cardia's last up. Where's he at? He's going to be right in the middle. There's nothing he can do. He's not even going to be able to get a touch. There's no way. And Reciprocity, just like that, Ryan, are going to be on the cusp of taking over another Grand Finals.
Map point, match point, tournament point for Reciprocity, and it's just been honestly easy since that drop shot got placed. Rushies twice in a row, picks it up, and then you see the efficiency with it as well. Hit a number of double kills, and even then he followed up with a shotgun. Reciprocity just so good at this fight. And you're going to see Estral actually choose to disable the shotgun, and Reciprocity, of course, doing the same. So you're still going to see, obviously, a lot of the same fight players are going to be forced to run into that drop shot area. You can't ignore the weapon, period. A little less utility on the board now. Let's see how that changes the fight for Estral. Of course, Reciprocity needs to just win one of the next 3 rounds to be our champions. Try to get aggressive, try to match Rushy's aggression. 3 members to be exact. Rushy's there waiting. He gets down. The follow-up kills come through, and they all favor Estral. So sort of matching the aggression of Reciprocity over towards the weapon pays off. A quick 3 down in favor of Estral. Powers and Fran, they need to stay alive.
Oh, they know it, right? And they're going to be going over towards that hill that's going to matter most, and that's going to be E. And already making it work, this Power is going to capitalize on that moment, taking Crack out. And just like that, Reciprocity going for the OE. You notice player number 8, that's going to be Powers. He's going to be on to Delta maybe soon enough, but he's going to go ahead and deviate a little bit into mid, using that bolt-on very well. Adverse getting dropped very low in overall health, but it's not going to be enough. Powers forced to back up as Estral recovers once again. And if Powers goes down, that's going to give up both of the angles as well as that angle for that neutral hill. And a great retake from Estral. Now Reciprocity back in that same scenario, choosing to stack down onto E to maintain the hill that they own.
Yeah, so pushing in for that break. Couple pieces of early utility come through. Rushies hold strong. Icy on the back end. There for the team fire alongside Fran. So Crack's going to go ahead and get that full break. But Estral are trying to get these players off of Bandstand. You see the Boltok flying across the map, Taylor. You see the damage it's putting in. 3 dead for Estral. Cardia answers back, trying to just weather the storm with the drop shot. The Reciprocity now once again maintain the 2-cap. Cardia and Fiercely forced to move back to the one hill that Estral has. And you got to imagine Reciprocity moved to set up for that next drop shot. Of course, they can't ignore the hills too much. We're going to see Icy getting in there. Estral is going to meet him. The new weapon not up just yet.
No, but it's going to be a big fight. Estral needs to win this and back Icy up, which he does just that. Drop shot will be picked up, and it's going to connect onto Icy and franchise. Something Estral desperately needs. Now Cardio will go ahead and push into F. A very bold push, but he manages to get the drop onto Kenny and the finish, and that pushes him on onto F as well as E. And Estral is going for the domination, but one of the players has snuck over towards D, and I think that might be, Reflame and Rushies, but Rushies forced to back off. Powers now fighting, trying to maintain his life as long as he can until Reciprocity spots back up to fight once again down low. But it's going to be Cardio once again taking out Powers, and Estral able to regain control. Reciprocity still has a point lead.
And the new drop shot does get picked up by Estral. Of course, Reciprocity still holding a lead. Estral trying to put themselves in position with these resources. Now a decision needs to be made. Icy and Fran, do they spawn back in? Again, Reciprocity on tournament point right now. Still do hold that one hill. Let's see what the decision chooses to be. Powers is going to drop. Looks like Icy and Fran are going to preserve their respawns. As the final kill does come through, yeah. We've seen that strategy pay off for Reciprocity once. And there's still plenty of time for them. 2 more rounds in particular. If you're Estral, you need, of course, chain 3 in a row. Obviously very capable of doing it, but it starts here. You look at the respawn economy, Taylor. 4 different members of Estral. They do have 4 respawns. Obviously, 2 members of Reciprocity chose not to spawn back in because they were on 1.
But it's about that initial, though.
You got to think that matters. But yeah, like I said, if Reciprocity gets 1 good wipe, right, 1 good team push, whatever it is, the whole tournament's over.
And it starts with Rushies. But then again, I mean, if that's where your whole strategy is centered around, you shut down Rushies, you stop the initial from Reciprocity. And Estral, I think, knows this, right? So they need to utilize their shocks appropriately, and I think that's going to be the biggest difference maker here. But if Rushies pops off, he gets that quick pick once again, Estral could be in a lot of trouble here. So Rushies is going to be our man that we absolutely need to watch. And so go ahead and make that push in once again. And he is going to be the deciding factor here. Will Reciprocity take this round and solidify the 3rd championship, or will we go to training grounds?
There's his chance. Ends up not getting stunned. Quick pick. Blind fires and it actually connects. Kind of threads the needle almost of those shocks. Those drops, they're going to tickle. This is the shot, but his teammates are there to connect.
It's a great initial. Fiercely, Crack, Reflame. They're going to be the only ones up. Reciprocity going for the domination. Rushy's trying to hold his own. Estral pushing him back. A good pushback. And they are going to be able to retake F. Icy now trying to hold his own, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think, unless he absolutely just pops off. And yeah, eventually he is going to get taken as Estral pushing Reciprocity back, and a good hold. It was looking scary, and it still is, right? 42-9 is a great initial from Reciprocity. They've got control of the map, but you notice Estral, they're ready to collapse down onto E. If Reciprocity can't hold it, Estral, they're going to start chunking away at that deficit.
It's going to put both Icy and Fran on 1 respawn. Rushies does get taken out as well, too. That's going to put him on 0. And we talked about how, for the most part, other than Crack, I mean, how pretty healthy respawn economy for Estral. Reciprocity still have that early lead. Of course, they hold on to this 2-cap that will be closed pretty soon. No more drop shot in play just yet. If you're Reciprocity now, your kind of decision goes, Do you maybe push over towards neutral? Do you push over towards the new weapon? As you can see with that Oracle mode, there's a member of Estral waiting there.
Yeah.
Kind of already set up for it, and they have the neutral. They sort of have both sides of the map in ways you want them.
And Reciprocity is really committed, it seems, to try and retake E. But at what cost? Is it worth it losing that drop shot like you mentioned? I would have to venture to say no, but if this push works out, it could be a good one. The push, in fact, will occur. Shocks are going to be thrown out. Adverse with a nice Lancer fire across and just absolutely dominates that push of Reciprocity. Icy's going to be the only one up. Manages to get one out. Can he get the second? Unfortunately, not able to connect. And yeah, the reload eventually ends up taking him out. And Reciprocity, despite that push, didn't make it happen.
Real quick, you just see Rushies picks up that drop shot. That is going to be, though, yet another Estral round, Taylor.
All tied up, 4-4. We're going to round 9, Ryan.
And Estral, I mean, like I said, they had the respawn economy in their favor. All they really had to do was kind of just continue to not get wiped. I mean, basically just trade back and forth.
Sure.
And the round is theirs, and now we find ourselves at yet another round number 9 on the back of yet another comeback. Last time, Estral made the comeback. Reciprocity won in the end. Can Estral complete the comeback this time? Or will Reciprocity yet again on the round that matters most come through?
I mean, we wanted to see Training Grounds.
I was hoping for Training Grounds. I mean, I'm one round away from getting it.
We might see Training Grounds. And you know what's interesting about that? It was a great initial for Rushies, but at the end, the long game, right? The long game was won by Estral. They played that incredibly well. So all components have to come together. Now this push, though, is going to be the make it or break it scenario. And Rushies is your main guy to push in, but unfortunately, he's at lives 1 of 4. So if this goes bad for him, he's already going to be on his last life.
And he's not stunned. You can see him getting those shots in early.
Oh, no.
Dominant. This could be the map right now, Taylor. They're all they're all together. That's the last member, Cardia. Cardia goes down here. That should be a wipe.
He's down.
He goes down.
Reflame's back up, though.
They took a little too long to get him, but the trip cap's underway. Can the members get there in time? Flashbang's going to come out. Reflame. You need the touch. You're going to see Powers decide to back out. Luckily, that shock grenade was there. You saw Rushies wasn't able to push forward and get that kill. So Estral managed to stay alive, but yet another
barely, though,
early strong initial coming in from Reciprocity and Kenny. He's not stopping. He's going to take Adverse out as well. I just like you mentioned, Icy and Rushies both sitting on one respawn. On the other end, it's just Crack, now joined by Adverse. This is a good chance for Rec to just build a very strong early lead. They have the 2-cap, and now they've rotated that drop over towards the neutral as well. It's going to make it so hard for Estral to get this break.
Yeah, it is. Icy was the one trying to get it started, but shuts him down with, of course, the Ensign.
And the longer they take to kind of make this decision, right, the more points Reciprocity starts to rack up. And it looks like that decision's been to OE. Rush is going to take that drop shot over, almost even let them hop into that hill because that weapon is hard to beat. Follows it up with a down, ends up getting chunked. Crack
Kenny
tries to make the play, but Kenny,
the shock,
it's going to be there, but the shock grenade comes through. It downs Kenny. Fran trying to fight off 2 members. He's going to fall as well. But again, this fight happens over at the Reciprocity home hill. Neutral hill still in their favor. We're on short spawns.
You got to be thinking about the new drop as well.
And right now it's going to be Crack on 0, Rush on 0. Can't imagine Adverse knows he can't stick around here super long. And he drops the kill feed. Begins to light up red. 2 members go down for Estral. Rush with Fiercely and Crack in front of him. Has a little bit of backup. Crack's going to fall. Fiercely's going to fall.
Uh-oh. This might be
We're about to cross the 200-point mark. Reciprocity holding 2 hills. Crack's out of the game completely. 5 versus 4 for the rest of the time. And the new drop shot is going to be picked up. It's in Power's hands. Taylor, there's almost no way Reciprocity can possibly lose this, right?
I wouldn't think so, Ryan. But, I mean, I don't want to count Estral out because they've turned things around. And all they have to do is take Rushies out, right, to even up the odds. No, actually, no, because it's going to be a permanent 5v3. So at this point in time, Estral back against the wall. Current scoreline 231 and counting. The domination coming through. Reciprocity in round number 9 is looking to solidify and make it count. And yes, they do, to secure their 3rd championship in Emergence Days Season 2 after a long dry spell. They won week 1. They won week 2. And it took so long to finally reach the grand final and take over the victory, but they made it happen. taking out the powerhouse team, at least in Week 9, which was Estral, in back-to-back round 9s for a 2-0 victory. And I got to say, in their 5th appearance in Grand Finals, only matched by that of NRG, they take their 3rd final to match that of NRG. So now